Model Railroader fans, I'm Ray. Welcome to the Boeville and Newtown's vlog number 15 for 2019, and it happens to be October the 26th, 2019. Well, it's a deep subject for a person of a shallow mind. Think about it. Anyway, not much going on down here right now. Tomorrow is a rather big day. Going to be, they got a buddy of mine coming over to help me move that tabletop, that pool tabletop, and get it over here to where I can start cutting it up. That's one thing that's going on tomorrow. The other thing is I'll be headed to the Timonium train show, which I was unaware was this weekend until 2 days ago. So I'm going to be headed up there with my buddy John, and you know, I've got my old model railroader magazines that I'm going to donate to one of the clubs that they were interested in them at one point. Before I moved, and of course I never got up to the train show to drop them off, so I'm hoping that they're still interested in them. Unfortunately, I haven't heard anything from them, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw the stuff in the truck and take it up there, and if they don't want it, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I really don't want to bring them back home, but it is what it is. The other thing that I was unaware of, and I kind of mentioned this on my group page on Facebook, is the fact that, and I know that better part of the community is rather aware, if not fully aware, of modeltrainstuff.com. Long story, I remember when Model Train Stuff was not Model Train Stuff, they were MB Klein, and they were down on Gay Street down in downtown Baltimore. I can remember fondly as a kid walking into that store with my father, and when you walked in, on the left-hand side was a ceiling-to-floor display of brass locomotives in O gauge, HO gauge, S gauge, N gauge, and it was just awe-inspiring to see this. I'd say it was probably a 10 or 15 foot long wall, like I said, ceiling to floor, damn, pretty much, of nothing but brass locomotives. When they moved out here to Timonium, which is right around the corner from me, a few years, I don't know how long they've actually been out there, but obviously that display did not make it. I don't know whatever happened to those locomotives. I imagine they probably sold them all or whatever, but regardless. But I just found out earlier today that they are basically closing the retail side, which means that for us local guys, we have to worry about doing mail order. That pisses me off. I'm sorry. I'm one of these people that has to actually touch, see, feel. I guess it's because my father was a salesperson, and one of the companies that he worked for at one point was nothing but a catalog house, and they were making a break in the outside sales. He was an outside salesman. And when they realized how many more sales they could get when you weren't buying stuff out of a catalog, when you could actually physically hold the device in your hands, how much easier it was to sell than what it was to sell trying to look at a picture. Yeah, I'm anywhere near where I need to be with this layout right now. I have no idea exactly what I need. I have no idea what I'm going to run into. I have at least one building that I wanted to scratch build, possibly two, that now I'm going to have to either wait for the train shows to come around every couple of months, or I'm going to have to go ahead and bite the bullet and figure out what I exactly need by looking at it online, which, as far as I'm concerned, is crap. That's the way I feel about it. I'm sorry if it offends people, but I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. I don't like the idea of having to go to a daggone internet site, especially when the place is 10 minutes down the road from me. That's ridiculous. But it's the way it is today. The internet has completely gone ahead and taken away from all the brick and mortars now, and the only way these people can survive is to become a catalog house. We've gone 180 from where we used to be. It's insane. I know back in the, what was it, the 20s and 30s or whatever the heck it was, Sears and their Sears catalog actually had a house that you could buy that they would bring on site and put together for you. Again, a catalog house. I don't like the idea. I'm sorry. It's just me. I have to be able to physically hold whatever it is that I'm trying to buy. I just cannot go out and say, that's what I want, and I'm going to buy it, and, because 9 times out of 10, if I do that, guess what? I end up getting... So, sorry. End of rant, I guess. But that just... I'm not happy about that. And the fact that we don't really have hobby shops around anymore, that was literally, I guess, well, that one there was specialized. I mean, that one dealt strictly with trains, but we don't even have hobby shops around here anymore. All the ones, we had a hobby town at one point in time that was up in Timonium. They moved to North Plaza, which is about 20 minutes in the other direction from me, and now they're gone. They don't even have a store here anymore. It's just, to me, it's ridiculous. I don't like the idea. I mean, it's where we're at, I guess. I don't know. I've been rather salty about that all afternoon. It's it's great to see pictures, but until I can physically hold that, whatever it is, So I guess I'll be saving an awful lot of money now because I won't be buying stuff online. Yeah, I know. I bought a lot of the stuff that I've got for the railroad online at one point, and that's how I know it's like, no, this isn't the way I want to do it. Evil Bay is the one that got me a few times. Of course, I know that that's a lot different. You're not dealing with you're not dealing with an actual. You're dealing with people. It's a little bit different. I get it, but still, it's. I don't know. I'm wondering, how I'm going to work on, when I get to it, the house that my wife's grandparents had, or great-grandparents had, out in Baldwin out here. I was planning on building a replica of it. I don't have the parts to do that right now. I have no idea where I'm going to get them, because as of Thursday, and I'm not going to have a chance to get out to their shop to go ahead and take a look around to see what they've got. And I'm hoping maybe tomorrow while I'm at the train show, maybe I'll find some stuff, some styrene that I can go ahead and start collecting up so that I've got it, so when I actually get around to building that house, I can build it. The other thing was the roundhouse that I was in the process of scratch building, or at least mocking up. I don't know where I'm going to get the parts for that. I'm getting parts for that now. And, some folks would be like, well, just go out and buy one of the ones that Walthers puts out or something like, yeah, well, that's great. But I've got a very specific spot for that to sit, and buying one that would be already set up for a particular area, it may not fit. So I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. But, it is what it is, I guess. I'm just not real happy about the fact that all the places that I used to go when I was younger, and some of the places that I went to not more than 15, 20 years ago, or even less than that, are now either gone away, non-existent, or, whatever. It's just, like I said, I understand it, but it makes no sense. I just don't. I guess it's just a sign of the times too. Here again, with unfortunately with people want stuff like that, and you take a look at what I'm building over here, and this thing's been what, I've started working on this in August, and basically all I've gotten so far is the bench work and some of and like 90% of the wiring for the electrical side done. And then that's as far as I've gotten. But other things, this wonderful thing called life has a tendency to happen. So, I didn't want this to be about me giving a rant, but that's where it is. But on, I guess, a lighter note, a much lighter note, I know that Sparky was talking to Big Bill on Wednesday. On Wednesday I caught a bit of that. As you all know, the 15th, 16th, 17th, or the 16th and 17th of May 2020, the YouTube community is going to be meeting up in Strasburg, Pennsylvania. I plan on being up there. I don't know yet what I'm going to do, if I'm going to commute it or if I'm actually going to find some place to stay up there. I mean, it's only an hour and a half, but the more I thought about it, that's an hour and a half, or it's actually 3 hours round trip. That makes for an awfully long day. I've done it before, but it makes for an awfully long day. So we'll see what happens there. The other thing is I know that, and I cannot remember his name, and I know I'm going to butcher the heck out of his channel's name. I know he has a show, Narrow Minded Mondays, because he's a narrow gauge railroader. The Tiagadon, I think it's something like that. Like I said, I can't pronounce it. I'll try to put a link in the down below here. But he was commenting to me, I was talking about the live thing. You know, I don't have enough subscribers to do a live thing. And he's like, no, that's only if you're mobile. The problem that I'm more thought about it, well, if it's only mobile, well, then that's fine. I've got a camera, but I forgot that the one that I've got here that came from work originally, that they replaced because it wasn't working right. This one here, for some reason, won't link up with my computer at all. So I'd have to snag the other one and bring it home, and I was going to do that, but then I remembered that I'm on call, and I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like fooling with the camera, so we'll just skip it this week. If I did decide, or if I do decide to do some sort of a live stream, it would probably end up being on a Sunday night. Probably, say, around 7:30 or 8 o'clock Eastern. It wouldn't be a long thing either, obviously, with what I've got going on out here. I'm not sure how long I'd be online. The other thing I'd have to figure out is how I can get the camera over there. I mean, I know this table behind me is on wheels, but I don't know how far out I can take it. I do have an Ethernet connection back here because I found out when I was over at my old house, even though I was on the same floor with the modem, the Wi-Fi from this computer to the network, or to that modem, was ridiculous. It would take forever for anything to load up. So I hardlined this one. I actually hardlined it over there, and then I hardlined it again here, but I made sure that I've got plenty of cable to where I can move it around the room if I had to. So if worst came to worst, I could always go ahead and hook up a laptop out here, hook up the hard line, and, you know, just find some place out in the layout area to run a live stream. Of course, I don't know, I don't know if that's what I want to do yet. I'm battling some ideas in my head, which that gets fairly dangerous when that starts happening. You know, as two brain cells start bouncing off of each other, and, and I tell people, yeah, I get a brainstorm. Most of the time, though, it's somewhat of a drizzle. It's not an actual brainstorm, but, Anywho, so that's really where I'm at for the night. I may end up doing something for tomorrow's shenanigans. I'm not 100% certain yet. That's the reason why I kind of threw this one together. I had to get that off my chest, and I'm sorry for, taking up 15 minutes of people's time. Of course, 15 minutes can say, no, then we're not going to go there. I think I've heard that somewhere before. So with that being said, you all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. Be safe. God bless. We'll catch you next time. See ya.